A super thanks to begin today's mailbag from Chris. I've been subscribed since the start of the channel. I watch every video that comes out. You guys over the years have become a part of my routine, and I see you guys almost like family. What you do is awesome, and I appreciate everything you do. First off, Chris, one of the nicer things that has been said to me, so thank you very much. I don't think you know how much that means to me. I'm so happy to have this job, do everything I'm able to do, and it's because of people like you who enjoy it and watch it and do all the other stuff that comes along with it. So, Chris, thank you very much. Now, any super thanks get shown here. Even it can still be Tom, you suck. Doesn't have to be as nice as Chris's was. But any super thanks will get a shout out here on the Cowboys Report. You can click that thanks icon, edit your message. We appreciate everyone who watches, especially those of you who go above and beyond like Chris does. $5 super chat from Object Pawar. Dowdle RB1, Davis RB2, Zeke RB3. Do you agree? No. I am not that high on Malik Davis. I would probably give the edge. I will not announce. I'll give the edge to Deuce Vaughn and Royce Freeman over Davis. I don't think there's that same level of juice that Deuce Vaughn offers you. I think Freeman is a little bit more powerful of a runner. And I also think this too. I think the Malik Davis, Royce Freeman, Zeke Elliott role, that's kind of all similar to me. I want someone that offers more big plays. I don't think Malik Davis is a super big play guy. I think he's fine. He can be on my practice squad again. But also, I think if you're doing this, you have to flip Davis and Zeke because I need my RB3 to play special teams. And Zeke is just not going to do that. So, and also, I am still going to be scouring the waiver wire this offseason to find running back help or trade options. Savon Ahmed's banged up. Probably doesn't count from that category, but I am not satisfied at all here. From Leroy Pearson Jr., if you can make one major roster move via trade, signing, or release, what would it be? I am still coveting a dynamic impact 3 technique. I've seen flashes of it from Osa Odigizua. But, if I could get a Jonathan Allen type of healthy football player, I'm all for that. I don't think that's realistic. I'll settle for just paying freaking CeeDee Lamb. But I still crave that crazy high-end impact Christian Wilkins type, maybe not the contract, defensive tackle. Dallas Fanatic. I don't know if you're serious, but I will answer it seriously. Bring in Randy Gregory. I don't think you need to because you have Carl Lawson playing that basically the exact same role. I don't want to because it is a massive red flag for me that Randy Gregory signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, did his little intro thing, and then just never showed up. And the Bucs still don't know why. That's really bad. So I hope that Randy's doing okay on a personal level, but I think there's a lot of off-field stuff that the Cowboys screwed up because they wanted to pay him, and then they screwed up by not doing it, and then ended up getting out of it in the end because they didn't agree to the contract terms, which didn't even end up applying. He just ended up being bad in Denver. So they kind of, 2 wrongs made a right in the end for Randy Gregory. And as part of that, I think that bridge has probably been burnt. I don't know if either side wants to get back together. That was kind of an ugly breakup. And sometimes get back together with your ex. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. I don't think that's the exact same thing as Randy Gregory, though. But I believe in democracy, so you guys can vote. Would you bring back Randy? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off the pinned comment of today's show. Buster Cherry, Tyler Beebe played good in my eyes. There's room for improvement, but what is it that needs to be improved? In general, a lot of this is going to come down to reps. There's a lot of things that they haven't seen in the NFL. NFL teams, in most cases, are not doing all these stunts and disguises and overloads and loops and showcasing all of their best pass rush moves against the best competition. Like, the Raiders play their starters a little bit. Guess what? Guyton's going to get Myles Garrett in week 1. Going to get Cam Jordan in week 2. That's a really hard matchup. So, responding to adversity and how you handle when you do get beat, whether it's your technique, you have a low snap, a bad snap, you Beebe at times will go too quick trying to go from snap to blocking, which is natural. He's gotten a lot better there. Guyton can still lean a little bit. He can waist bend a little bit, but he's gotten better with his technique with Duke Manyweather. And when you're playing more snaps and you're tired, does your technique regress back? All those little small things. The athletic traits are there. The ground floor is awesome. I am thrilled out of what I've seen so far from both guys. But it's a long season. They are first-year players. You can ask any NFL player. The guy they were week 1 as a first-year guy versus week 8 versus week 17 versus year 5, night and day. It'll take time. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps, it's just you against the numbers. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch your winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. That's $10 into $1,000. They've got even little bonuses throughout the season, right? Caleb Williams, 1 passing yard, gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. It's the freebies, just to kind of juice your options. I also like some season-long Prize Picks, since we're not quite into the full football season yet. Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, Cooper Kupp, all the more than on their receiving yards. Their injury risks there, sure. Maybe some quarterback concerns to an extent, but this guy stay out there, going to smash those marks. I like the flex play, too. Get 2 out of 3 right, 3 out of 4 right, you still win. Lower payout, but you're a lot more likely to actually win. So download the Prize Picks app today over at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game, and check out the comment section and the description of today's show for that link. Ishmael Farouk, if Jones doesn't pay Lamb, will he be there by week 1? I think so, because I don't think he wants to miss out on $1 million-ish game check. It's not quite $1 million, but it's close to it. I think he shows up. It probably does not bode well for the future of negotiations, though, if that ends up being the case. Church O Nation, bro, Zeke will break the single-season rushing title. This is his year. Quit hating. I can smell the sarcasm, though. I know you're not serious. That's fine. It's fine. Johnny Henry, you see Deuce get lost behind that big offensive line. Thoughts? He juked 2 guys. He made 2 guys miss. He had 19 yards with the contact. Like, that's all good for me. Again, I can't quit him. Call it a soft spot. That's fine. A 6th-round pick is a 6th-round pick. You always got to factor that into your evaluation stuff and your expectations. But I saw more explosive playing out of Deuce Vaughn than I've seen in the preseason so far. Low bar, but we have a low bar in Dallas at the running back room. Busch Gardens fan, who would be wide receiver 1 if CeeDee leaves? Be Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, and I don't know who your 3rd receiver would be. That'd probably be after this upcoming season, which also Brandon Cooks is a free agent, so my #1 contract player who's technically under contract with franchise tag, so it's an asterisk there, but #1 guy is Jalen Tolbert. You probably want to draft a receiver next year anyway. You should probably pay your #1 guy as well. From Chrissy, however you pronounce it, Peyton Hendershot trade. I'm down. Who wants Peyton Hendershot? Who needs him? Like, who's trading for your #3 tight end who's probably not going to make your roster anyway? You could offer him up. I'm sure there is a, we're going to cut this guy a call if you want to trade for him, like borderline group chat between NFL GMs. But I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. So name a player that you want to trade away. Sound off for me in the comments of today's show. From Mark, $5 super chat. Thank you, Mark. The DT we got from Buffalo was a good signing because we are so weak there. I rate these guys based on the percent of teams he would start with. What do you think that percentage is? I don't think he starts anywhere. I think that actually includes Dallas, too. I think it's still Osa and Mozzie Smith. Now, In terms of how many teams is he in the rotation for? 5 to 10? Maybe? Maybe differing levels of what that rotation looks like, but he does fit what Dallas wants. He was in the rotation to an extent last year for Buffalo, so it was a fine. I would have been on board signing Jordan Phillips in at the beginning of free agency. Totally on board. The Giants found some young guys that they really like at DT that made him expendable. Dallas went in and got a conditional draft pick for him. Love it. Great move. Do more of those things in March and April and not wait till August. Brian Greathouse. I think Jerry Jones is more about the money than winning a Super Bowl. I think part of this conversation involves Stephen Jones because he's got a lot of control here. Jerry Jones has straight up said this. He views all attention as good attention. He likes that. I think if you told the Dallas Cowboys, you can have what you've had the last 20 years, or the last 12 years, where if your quarterback's healthy, you are in the playoffs or almost a playoff team. But you've got a 5% chance of winning a Super Bowl each year. Or you can tell them, hey, it's 6 years of success, but it's a 15% chance at a Super Bowl. They're going to take the first option. They don't want to win a Super Bowl at all costs. That is not how they operate their business. They want to not be bad at all costs. And they are still facing that as a possibility this next offseason. But they play to not lose stuff. And I think that is frustrating for them. And as long as the money's good, and that comes along with being a 10-win team, they're just fine. They're just fine with that outcome. Brian Rudolph, what did you think of the Sports Illustrated suggesting Troy Aikman as next Cowboys head coach? I'm glad you asked that. Actually, I'm kind of glad you asked because I wasn't going to bring it up because I didn't think it was worth my time. It was so stupid. That is like the dumbest thing I've read all day. And I've read a lot of stuff today about CeeDee Lamb and Ezekiel Elliott and all that other crap. Like, that is such a dumb idea. Hiring a head coach who has never coached, period, does not make sense. It's a horrible business strategy. It's a horrible decision. Like, Aikman as a head coach makes zero sense. You want to put him in the front office? Okay. He expressed interest there. I'm not making my GM day one. I think Will McClay's better. But, Cowboys trotting out Troy Aikman or Jason Witten is unserious behavior. So, frankly, sometimes freedom of speech is a mistake. And suggesting Troy Aikman as Cowboys head coach is a mistake. And maybe we shouldn't have that for everybody. Who will be the Cowboys head coach in 2025? It's not going to be Aikman. I'm worried it's going to be Mike Zimmer. But who will be that Cowboys head coach in 2025? Let me know in the comments of today's show. Food review. Hell scenario. Dak leaves. Mike's fired. Trey is bad and doesn't resign, and you're pick at 24. What the hell do you do? Do you reach for a quarterback? Do you go BPA, trade the farm for a pick? I don't even know. This is the point I've tried to make, and I think it's summed up pretty well when we have the quarterback conversation. That's why I want a decision now, because this is an option now. Because you're going to be 24-ish, probably. You might have Dak. You're probably going to fire your head coach. What is your plan? You're going to bring in Russell Wilson after he didn't make it in Pittsburgh? We're going to try out Jimmy Garoppolo? You're going to just let Lance try it out? Those are not good options. The quarterback class, the guys that are there at 24 would probably be a reach. Like, Shedeur Sanders, okay. Well, if he's good, he's not going to last at 24. Or if you think he's going to be that superstar caliber QB. But do you want to trade? I think it's 24 to like 5? It's like 3 first-round picks. You'd be better off just paying Dak the money and keeping your first-round picks. So that is my hell scenario. And I don't know what the solution is because none of them are very good. From Mr. J, what do you say, Tom, to using Trey Lance like Taysom Hill? I think if you want to find a way to utilize him, and you're committed to that, I think a Taysom Hill role makes sense. I have said this more on like our NFL shows than our Cowboys show here. I don't like the Taysom Hill role that much. Like, I have a better quarterback. It's a similar-ish. One was a Hall of Famer. When the Saints took the ball out of Drew Brees' hands to make Taysom Hill a thing, I thought that was always stupid. You have a Hall of Fame quarterback. Now, you obviously don't have one in Dak Prescott, but you got a QB that was second in MVP. Do I really want to not use him and instead let Trey Lance do Wildcat stuff? Maybe the occasional package is fine, but I never liked that package all that much. So it's a fun way to maximize Lance, but is that and should it be my priority? Folks, we are live twice a week here on the Cowboys Report. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button and subscribe.